Imagine you're having a meeting with your two bosses at work. You've been working for about a year, and recently you advocated on your own behalf to get a raise. You informed the higher ups that you have improved productivity, worked exceptionally hard, and should be rewarded with a better position and better pay. You arrive at the meeting a bit early, only to be greeted with one of the bosses that you were expecting. This is someone you are familiar with, someone you get along with incredibly well, and who you feel on a certain level is your friend. They tell you that the other boss, who is their boss that you haven't met, is running a bit late because of other meetings, and you get to talking. They ask you how your day is going, and you establish an overall friendly rapport. They compliment you on the work that you've done and say that they put in a good word for you for the raise because they agree. You've worked really hard and you made their life easier. You talk about some shared interests you have, like sports or Parcheesi, and you begin to feel like they are really on your side. But then the second boss comes in. They seem irritable, like they're already in a bad mood. And this is a person you aren't incredibly familiar with. They have never worked one on one with you, and the moment they come in, the mood seems to chill. Immediately, they begin to question you. Why do you think you deserve this raise? Why do you feel like you've done more than your peers? What makes you believe that you've earned such a steep pay increase? It's clear that the second person has no intention of giving you the raise you believed you earned. And during this confrontation, you begin to get a bit stressed out. All the points you had outlined as being reasons you should get the raise now seem trivial and stupid, and they counter those statements, making you feel like you should have never asked for the raise in the first place. But then the first boss comes to your defense ever so slightly. They say, well, maybe the first raise you asked for is a bit extreme, but surely a smaller, less significant raise would be better. And instead of a change of position, perhaps you would be open to taking on more responsibility without a direct change in title. You can shadow them and take over some of their daily tasks, which, though won't immediately turn into a new position, could open you up to future opportunities. You immediately accept this, feeling as though your immediate manager just really stuck their neck out for you. Sure, they weren't able to get you the deal that you wanted, but they did the best they could against their boss, who seems like a meaner, more negative force. You were lucky to have them there, really. You are completely unaware that you have just been manipulated, using the good cop, bad cop routine, and you have, unknowingly, agreed to accept a minimal pay increase so that you can take on more responsibilities without getting any of the credit. You agreed to take on their job for less than half their pay, and you are thanking them for it. In today's case, we will be examining one demonstration of the good cop, bad cop technique, used ironically against a cop, although whether or not it was successful is still up for debate. Welcome back to another episode of Dreading, or if this is your first time here, welcome. Today we are going to be covering the case of Jaylen Fleer. This case came suggested by multiple of our subscribers, and if there is a case you would like to see dissected in the same way, feel free to leave it in the comments down below, or email me at dreading.official@gmail.com. Before I begin, I want to say a quick thank you, as there's been a recent swell of support on my videos. When I made this channel and began uploading in January, my goal was to create content that went over cases while also staying respectful to the victims, and it's my hope that I have done that. I've learned countless things about audio, video editing, and production that I never would have had a chance to learn otherwise, so I'm extremely grateful. I also hired on my brother to help me write scripts, and this video was written by him, and none of that would have been possible without your support, so thank you. With all that said, let us begin. Finding information on who Jaylen Fleer was prior to his arrest was a bit difficult. From what I was able to gather from his old high school's and college's social media, he was an average student who was a slightly above average baseball player. He seemed like just a run-of-the-mill person, with no one saying anything particularly notable about him. Though he was not good enough to make it into major or minor leagues, he played baseball through high school and college, and for a while seemed to dedicate himself to the sport. However, after graduating and finding that he had no professional prospects, he decided to become a police officer, and it was in this position that Jaylen began to approach multiple young girls between the ages of 9 and 15 and send them inappropriate messages via the app Snapchat. Using the app, he would meet these children and assault them sexually. Jaylen believed he would be protected by his title and status, and used his badge to put himself above the law. He also believed he was protected by the app he used to meet minors. Snapchat is known for deleting the messages, pictures, and videos sent between its users and notifying the other party when a message has been saved and screenshotted. The material that was sent would immediately be deleted, making it a favorite amongst predators. Adults like Jaylen could send lewd and lascivious messages to multiple accounts, with the understanding that the photos would immediately be deleted by the app, unless he was notified otherwise. These photos and images would not be accessible by any third party after a span of 24 hours, and since the app's initial launch, it has been the subject of criticism in multiple investigations like the one we are about to go over. According to court documents, Jaylen used Snapchat to initiate contact with dozens of girls between the ages of 9 and 14 for the purpose of soliciting sex during a 2-week period in March and April of 2020. In his Snapchat messages, Fleer used graphic sexual language, sent photos of his erect penis, and offered to pay money for sex with minors. He also identified himself as a sheriff's deputy and sent photos of himself in uniform. Like many who abuse their positions of power over children, his repeated showcasing of his job to his victims was meant to assert a level of dominance over them. When you are 9 years old, you are taught to respect authority, and that policemen and women are there to protect you. If you were to get lost in a crowd, when you see a badge, you immediately feel safe asking them for help. It's not something that you, a 9-year-old, would ever think to question, which is why Jaylen was so upfront about his job. He wanted the children he was preying on to know what he did. That way they would feel as if it couldn't have been wrong, because a policeman wouldn't do such a thing. The court documents continue, stating that for one of the victims of the charged offenses, a 14-year-old girl, Jane Doe 1, Fleer arranged to pick her up at her house, drove her to a nearby parking lot, and had her perform oral copulation on him for $100. Fleer induced minors to assist in the commission of his crimes by offering money and gifts to procure other minor victims for prostitution and child molestation, and told each of his victims that the younger the girl they were able to get for him, the better. When Jaylen was eventually brought in for questioning, he felt as if he would be able to walk out a free man, that any evidence that would imply wrongdoing on his part would be something that he could easily hand-wave. Again, Snapchat doesn't save messages. He had made sure that none of his victims had been able to screenshot or record their messages, and he felt invincible. He had no idea that that was not the case, though.
Hi there. Hi. Thank you very much. Hi, Jaylen. I'm Detective Bratton. Nice to meet you too. I'm Detective Carol. Nice to meet you. Hi.
Notice the difference in tone of both officers. One is higher, warm, and friendly, while the other is lower and can be read as more serious. Pay attention to the tone of the investigators, as at times it will feel as if she was attempting to minimize the investigation into Jaylen and why they are talking in the first place.
So, I'm a detective at the Family Protection Unit with the City of Chula Vista Police Department. I work alongside Detective Kale here. We're actually doing an investigation on some allegations that we have to obviously look into. You're a law enforcement officer, so you know that we look into everything equally. I want to make sure, though, before we get started, that you're aware that this is a voluntary interview, and so I just want to make sure that you're aware of all of those things. And so I'm going to just have you... This is one of those forms that they give everybody, so it doesn't really fit. So if I just happen to cross out as I'm going along, sorry about that. So it says, thank you for coming voluntarily to, and then we'll go ahead and just put the admin office.
Okay.
All right. Oh, and of course, you know about body worn. So yeah, this is my body worn. Of course, it audio and video records everything, and there's also an audio recorder here just in case.
Okay.
Office at Central Jail. To share your side of the story with us, of course, in regards to the report that we're investigating.
Okay.
You're not under arrest, and you are not being detained.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll have you go ahead and write it in. And you can initial or say yes.
Just
Whichever.
initial.
Yeah. And if you would, just go ahead and read the next one. And then just sign right there under your name. Is that the correct spelling of your name?
Yes, it is.
All right, just for record's sake, I'm going to go ahead and read what you did initial. So you understand that you're not under arrest and you are not being detained. You understand that you're free to leave at any time. There will not be any locked doors keeping you from leaving. As you notice, that one doesn't have a lock behind you.
Yeah.
You can choose what questions you want to answer, and you can choose to leave or let us know, and we will assist you with the exit. Although you're probably going to be the one assisting me, because I don't know my way around here.
Within the first 2 minutes, the lead interviewer has done a variety of very interesting things to ingratiate herself with Jaylen. First, she minimized the reason he is being spoken to in the first place, saying it was more or less a formality, that she has to speak with him in order to sign some paperwork and get on her way. The implication is that whatever they will be discussing is a relative non-issue, alluding to the idea that she knows he's a good cop and whatever the investigation is about isn't true. She then positions him in a place of authority over her as well, stating she has never been to this facility and that she will likely need his help navigating the area. And throughout her time speaking with him, she has kept a light and friendly tone. Her tone alone would put him in a relative state of ease, because if you were being confronted over a serious matter, one that could result in prison time, you wouldn't expect someone in charge of said investigation to be nonchalant with you. However, based on Jaylen's consistent posture, as well as his facial expressions, this tactic isn't working, most likely because Jaylen knows that the only reason he would be under investigation is because of his communications with minors.
Okay.
So you understand, like, if you, as far as like leaving, you have access points and you know how to leave or where
Yeah,
to go.
I understand.
Okay, very cool. So I know that I have a lot to delve into, but I really want to get to know you first, if you don't
Yeah,
mind.
definitely.
Okay. So I'm gonna lean back and get comfortable, just because. Are you comfortable? Do you want to
Yeah,
take off
I'm
your
good.
duty belt?
No, I'm good.
Okay, because I understand that the duty belt gets pretty annoying pretty quickly. So if you want to take it off at any point, you
No,
let
I'm
me know.
skill.
So, of course, I've done my research and investigations and everything, so I've learned a little bit about you, but I'd like to learn a little bit more, if
Yeah.
that's okay. I found that you went to Santana High School?
I did, yes.
Okay. Can you tell me a little bit about your upbringing?
Yeah, so grew up Santana High School, played sports, football, baseball. Went to Grossmont College for a little bit, played baseball there. Then I got a job here. Worked at Dick's Sporting Goods before this, so this is my second job.
Okay.
Started working with this department for coming up on 5 years now. And,
So baseball seemed pretty important to you back
yeah,
in high
baseball's
school.
fun,
What position?
yeah. Pitcher.
Cool. How's your arm holding up?
I mean, soreness every once in a while, but I haven't thrown for a while. So.
Yeah, no, it still kills me. I played softball.
Okay, nice.
So I was, third, short, center, and pitcher.
Here in San Diego?
Yeah, down Hilltop, Bonita Valley kind of area.
As mentioned before, this type of data gathering is meant to establish a friendly connection. She doesn't care that he is a pitcher. She doesn't care how his arm is holding up. She doesn't actually want to know any more about his life. She wants to find some common ground between them. That way he begins to trust her and feels like, when he is confronted by the other officer, she is more or less on his side. According to the CIA's Human Resource Exploitation Training Manual, her current goal is to establish rapport, as a lack of rapport may cause Jaylen to withhold any information that he would have otherwise provided freely.
But I know, like, back when, I don't know if it's the same for you, they had no idea, like, about icing and massaging. And
Yeah, I knew about icing stuff. Yeah.
I did not, so I am paying the price
Girls
for
throw in
it.
her hand, so.
Yes, and it's brutal, though. Let me tell you, I'm paying for it still. But so, did you ever play any other sports in high school?
In high school, no, just football and baseball.
Football, baseball?
Yeah.
Cool. Anything else in school that you enjoyed doing?
Hanging out with friends, just typical high school stuff. I mean, it's pretty sheltered from my mom, so I didn't get out much, but yeah, just the sports and stuff.
Okay, how come you say?
Keeping me squared away, keeping me in line.
Very cool. And have you always worked corrections?
Yeah, I attempted to go out to the patrol, went to the academy. Things didn't work out there, so I came back here.
Did you have fun at the academy while you were
Oh
there?
yeah, I enjoyed it. It's good. I mean, camaraderie and stuff like that. So.
Okay. Married? How many kids?
Oh yeah, married. Recently got married this last year in September.
Okay.
We have a kid due on the way in August.
Oh, okay. Boy, girl.
Boy.
Very nice.
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Were you like hoping for
Oh
a
no,
girl?
I said looking forward to
Oh,
it.
looking forward. I thought you
Yeah.
said unfortunately. I'm
No,
like,
no,
oh.
no. No, I'm
Okay,
excited.
good.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. And your wife, how long have you known her?
Actually, preschool. Yeah, we met in preschool, went separate ways. Um, Met her back in high school. Things like I was trying to date her, but she was playing it hard to get again.
Yeah.
Then college came around, tried again, and actually ran into her in PB like about 3 years ago.
Okay.
And then yeah, we reconnected then and got married,
Sparked.
had a family, bought a house.
It's nice. You don't hear stories that go that far back.
Yeah.
So you guys got married just last year, already expecting baby number one.
Yeah.
Are you still living in Santee?
Yeah.
Okay. Where are you living at?
Right across from West Hills new community, Western community.
Okay. So you're gonna have your kid go to West Hills?
Probably, yeah, over Santana.
Are they
yeah.
viral? Are they
Rivals?
rivals?
Yeah.
Okay. It's
West
gonna be
Hills
hard.
is new now, so.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard combating everybody else and doing that. So do you do anything else as far as for fun? Do you do sports still?
I'll do softball with the guys here at work and stuff like that. Other than that, mountain bike once in a while.
Cool. How about video games, computers, anything like that? Do you ever?
Yeah, I'll play video games every once in a while and stuff like that, but not too often. Wife's not big on the video games.
Cool. And I hear your schedule recently changed. How do you feel about the schedule
it's long.
change?
Yeah. 7, 12 and a half in a row. Kills you. 7 off is nice, but it flies by, so.
Yeah, and then those 7 drag
Yeah.
once you're here. So at least you're on your last day today, right? We communicated with some of the people who are going like, hey, when does he work? Thank you for meeting with us here.
Yeah.
We obviously, given COVID, there's not a lot of places you can meet up with people right now. That's one, comfortable, gives us enough space, and makes you feel like that you're not at your home or randomly out in the middle of nowhere. So I know RPD is like refusing to let anybody in the doors, so I can understand. How about social media? Are you active on social media at all?
Facebook and Instagram. Had Snapchat back in the day, got rid of that with my wife. We got caught in the academy with her and some stuff. But
This self-admission on Jaylen's part is an attempt to subtly deny any wrongdoing on his part, as he is now aware of the fact that this investigation is entirely about him grooming minors over Snapchat. He was just asked the very open-ended question of what social media he currently has, and he admits to being on Facebook and Instagram. He then goes on to say he used to have a Snapchat, but no longer does, which wasn't asked. He only brings it up to divert responsibility away from himself by saying he used to have an account but got rid of it after marrying his wife. It would imply that whatever activity happened on his old account wasn't actually done by him, and that if an account that had his name, ID, and information on it was used in the commission of a crime, it wasn't him that did it. Given his age, it's also likely that he previously had a MySpace and other social media apps that he no longer uses, but he brings up Snapchat himself in an attempt to begin to distance himself from it.
Can you tell me about that, or?
it was with another recruit in the academy, but
Okay. So you're communicating with another recruit.
I was back in. I stopped. Everything got cut off. Got rid of. I didn't delete the Snapchat. I just deleted the app. So
Okay.
I haven't used it for like I don't know, 1.5 years now.
I didn't delete the Snapchat, I just deleted the app. Again, he is trying to indicate, ever so subtly, that whatever occurred on his account, should anything have occurred on that account, was not done by him. However, if he had no idea his account was being used to talk to minors, he'd likely want to know why it matters what social media he uses and why they care about that.
So on Facebook, just because I like to jot down everybody's social media when I can, what's your Facebook login? Like your username?
I think just under Jaylen Fleer.
It's your name?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And then you said Instagram? Is that right?
Instagram, yeah.
Okay. What's your Instagram username?
I think
And then you said you got rid of Snapchat, but when you did have it, what was it?
just Jaylen Fleer.
Okay. So the one that you had there, and has that account since been deleted or just
That one.
deactivated?
That's just delete the app. I think it's still there.
Okay. And I know when it comes to Facebook, you connect it to an email address. Do you know what email address is connected to it? And then your Instagram account, what, same email?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. And I know sometimes with Snapchat, they'll have you either sign up with a phone number or an email.
I believe it's my phone number.
Okay, very cool. So, I don't know, do you have any questions for me before I kind of...
I will ask what this is about.
Yeah, so we're looking into some allegations that were made. We're kind of, it started with a Crime Stopper report, so we're just kind of
Okay.
going from there. We did receive a picture that, when we looked into it, it looks similar to you. So I don't know if you can take a look at the picture and just tell me if you've seen this picture before. Oh, I have like 15 million things here. Okay. Whoop. So this picture right here.
Yeah, that's definitely me with the gross one.
Okay, so this picture right here, how old were you when it was taken?
I don't know, 20.
20? Okay. Have you ever used this picture on any social media site?
I think it was Snapchat back in the day, yeah.
Okay. All right. Have you ever shared this picture with anybody on Snapchat?
Yeah, probably my wife, to be honest. I mean, obviously I talked to other girls back in the day too, but I can't remember right
Okay.
off the head.
If you had to guesstimate how many times you may have shared the photo, how many times?
That one, maybe just a couple times, once or twice.
Okay, so definitely to your wife.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've used that photo for your wife, and you were about 20 years old in the photo. You did share it on Snapchat, and then maybe some other girls you were talking to?
I mean, yeah, this was a long time ago, so I don't really remember who it was.
Okay. Have you ever posted it as like your profile photo, or
No, that one.
ever
No.
posted it on Instagram? Oh, I forgot to ask you, are your accounts, is your Instagram and your Facebook, are they private?
They are.
Okay, and I know Snapchat is all private, right? I mean, you have to add somebody.
Yeah, I believe I had that. Yeah.
You can't just,
request a friend.
yeah, you can't just be anyone. So that one's at least a little bit better, where it's like you have to actively search for somebody, right? Okay, so you in the photo, and is that a gross font? Is that gross font?
Yeah, it's
emblem?
gross font.
Okay, cool. That makes it very easy. So as far as like the picture, so this photo came up in connection with some allegations about you communicating with a younger female on Snapchat.
Okay.
Have you ever communicated with any females that we've already recognized that yes you have with your recruit from the past? Is there anyone else you've communicated with on Snapchat?
I mean, back then, no, just close friends and coworkers and stuff like that.
Imagine you are being accused of communicating inappropriately with minors. The investigator did a good job of downplaying the severity of the allegations, but even still, Jaylen had just been told that he was the subject of an investigation because they received a credible Crime Stopper tip that he had been inappropriately talking to a child, and his face doesn't move. He has no discernible reaction. He just lets the information wash over him, as if he was expecting it, which we know he was. This kind of accusation is not something that anyone would take lightly, and his lack of response and care about this is a red flag.
Anyone recently?
No.
Is there any reason why your phone number and email might be linked to a different Snapchat account?
Another one? No. I never had another one. Just the Jaylen Clear one.
Okay, so that phone number and email wouldn't be attached to
No.
any other account? Okay. All right. And your schedule. I know that you work every 7 days on and 7 days off. What does your wife's schedule look like?
She's every Friday, Saturday off. Day shift, so typical 9 to 5.
Okay, so she works 9 to 5 and you work like the complete opposite schedule?
Depends. Every 3 months we rotate days and nights.
Okay. And how long have you been on nights now?
Nights now, probably a little over a month now. A month and a half.
Okay. All right.
Can I ask, is this something I should have lawyers on?
If you are in an interrogation and you have the inclination to ask if you should have a lawyer present, you should probably have your lawyer present. But the earlier half of the interrogation has worked, and Chris feels at least on some level that she is on his side. He can ask her if he should call his lawyer, and he feels as if she will be honest with him. A note for all of those watching now. Even if you are innocent and have done nothing wrong, never speak to the police in regards to a crime without a lawyer present. They might attempt to convince you that you doing so will make you seem guilty, or that if you have nothing to hide, you will have nothing to worry about. But that is not the case. A lawyer is there to protect you and make sure you are not taken advantage of.
So right now, and I'll go over the Bahila with you, we're investigating allegations that were made that you were communicating with a younger female on Snapchat and potentially some material might have been shared.
Okay.
Some photos, some images, stuff like that. So we, of course, want to be able to hear what happened from your side, if that in fact did occur, or if it didn't occur, we want to obviously
Everyone that I
determine
talked to, was about my age, I remember.
Okay.
Jaylen asked if he should have a lawyer present, and she responded by telling him that they were just investigating claims that had been made without evidence, and that she wanted to hear his side. This is not an answer to his question, but he doesn't appear to pick up on that. She also downplays the allegations and implies that he could be being falsely accused, which even he hasn't stated outright yet.
So who have you talked to?
My wife. This was back then when I had Tinder, so I did meet people on Tinder and stuff. But everyone should have been older than that to know of because Tinder's 18 and up.
Okay. Did you ever meet up with anyone that you met on Tinder?
On Tinder, my ex-girlfriend, yeah, and we dated for like 3 years.
Okay. What's your ex-girlfriend's name? So you met her on Tinder, but
Tinder,
you
yeah.
dated for 3 years after Tinder?
So I met her on Tinder in college when I was playing baseball, and we dated for about 3 years.
Well, you clearly don't know the concept of Tinder.
I was on Tinder long, yeah.
Okay, so how old were you then when you dated her?
Oh, shoot, maybe like 20, about 20 or, yeah.
And how old was she?
Same age, she was my age, yeah.
Okay. So, yes, on Tinder, when you were on Tinder, and forgive me, I'm not very well versed on Tinder, do you have a username there as well?
Shoot, I can't remember. It might have just been Jaylen or Jaylen or something like that.
Okay. So Jay.
Yeah, probably Jaylen, to be honest. Jaylen.
Do you ever go by Jay?
Friends call me Jay once in a while.
All right. Okay, so Tinder, Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, any other social media sites that you've delved into or used?
No, they're social.
Okay. All right. Of course, we've spoken to, obviously the other parties involved and kind of gotten some of the information. And so the reason why this particular photo was kind of brought up is because this photo was sent to this female, which is why I wonder if this photo would be in anyone else's hands.
For someone being younger, no, it wasn't anyone I sent younger.
So this photo was sent within the last 3 weeks. Have you sent this
No,
photo?
definitely not. It wasn't me.
Not to anyone within the last 3 weeks? Okay. And you've only shared it with a select few people?
Yeah, that was a long time ago, so.
Okay. So I want to make sure to get all the people you have shared it with just to make sure they wouldn't try to send it.
Yeah, no, I know there's like screenshots and stuff. I don't remember that one being screenshotted on Snapchat.
Yeah, because Snapchat lets you know when you're screenshotting.
Yeah, it'll tell you. So that was a long time ago. So I don't know.
Okay. So you don't know who I might be able to connect with this photo as far as
On that one? No, that was a long time ago.
You said you've only shared it a couple times?
Yeah, that's just a basic photo. I don't want to save that one or anything like that.
So it was either your wife or whoever the other person you might have shared it with that might have shared the photo again? My question is...
I doubt my wife would have did that.
Yeah.
We've been together and stuff for so long.
Well, so you dated this girl for 3 years, and when you were 20, that's 23, you kindled your relationship with your wife about 3 years ago?
Literally, it was about a month apart from my ex.
The other one. So you've been with her for 3 years,
Yeah.
So you like the long-term relationships?
I've always been in long term.
3 to 3. All right. So, this, like I said, this photo was sent to this person, so they were in possession of it, and we can't find any connection or reason why this photo would end up with this particular person if it wasn't shared by someone you may know or yourself.
I agree, yeah. My wife wouldn't have done that, so I don't know why she would share that. So, I don't know. It's a long time ago. My ex, It was a bad breakup with my ex, but she wouldn't have saved something like that either. I mean, I don't know who would have. I don't know. So I mean, I met girls on Tinder and stuff back in the day, and yes, some save stuff, but I don't know who would save a picture like that. I mean, a nude maybe, yeah, they would save. Not that one.
And there's nothing wrong with this photo, right? It's just
No,
you.
I agree. I don't know how it would get in the hands of a younger person.
Okay. There were also some conversations that were exchanged between you and this person.
Me? Okay. I didn't talk to anybody younger though.
Not on Snapchat?
No,
Not recently?
not recently, no.
Now, you said all of your social media accounts are private, right?
Yeah.
And I know you're a law enforcement officer, so I know that you've also taken the time to make your plates confidential.
I mean, back in the day, I
Yeah.
don't think my current ones are though.
I mean, obviously, I ran your plates.
Okay.
So you're still driving the Ford Fusion.
Yeah,
And is it black or gray?
it's great.
Okay. And you got tinted windows on it still?
Yeah.
And so, when it comes to the photo, I really want to understand why this person would be in possession with the photo. But the only one who could really help me with that is you.
Yeah. No, I couldn't tell you that. I don't know. No.
Okay. Well, along with the photo came some additional information about your personal life.
Okay.
And based on some of the information you shared with me today, it seems to add up.
Okay.
So is there any reason why the person would say they're you and share your information?
Sounds like it'd be someone that knows me then, obviously. I don't know who. I don't have any enemies that would be doing something like that. Can I ask what information was shared? What they know?
We know that you're a baseball player.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people know that.
Yeah.
Oh.
So that information was kind of shared.
Okay.
Your work schedule.
It's been 5 years now I've worked here.
Specifically the transition to 7 days on, 7 days off.
Really? I haven't shared anything like that recently. So I couldn't tell you who that would be.
Because Jaylen is hyper-focused on appearing to be innocent and keeping his cool, he isn't aware that his behavior makes him appear more guilty. She is slowly and methodically telling him that they have evidence against him, that it appears that he was using Snapchat to talk to minors inappropriately, and he has no real reaction. His arms are crossed and his voice is solid, and he repeats that he doesn't know anything about this, and he has no enemies. As a police officer, it would be easy to make enemies, and diverting blame to someone in your past would be an incredibly easy thing to do, but Jaylen just sits there, emotionless, and allows the accusation to wash over him without any real reaction.
So let's take it back a little bit. You said you played football in high school, right? What position did you play?
I was a defensive end.
Defensive end. Did you have the same jersey the whole time you played?
My last 2 years were, 82, and then first 2 years changed up.
And what year did you graduate?
2011.
Okay. So, I know as an athlete, sometimes when I would do my usernames and stuff, I would kind of use a combination of my things that I know about myself, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that way I wouldn't forget it. So this particular picture came from an account with this username, right? J178211. Okay. And I recognize that your jersey name in college was 17.
Yes, it
And
was.
then high school
82
was
is
82. And it was 11. In
I
2011.
never had 11.
No, as far as you graduated in 2011.
I did, yeah.
And it goes by Jay. And it is a Snapchat account that has some links to you.
Okay.
Okay. Jay, I'll be very honest. I want to know the truth.
Yeah, no, I never even heard of that account.
Okay. Have you ever shared any images of your penis with anyone?
Yeah.
And how many times would you say you've done that?
A lot.
Can you kind of explain that a little bit more to me?
I mean, my wife, my ex-girlfriend, back in the day, Tinder and stuff, yeah. I mean, I'm sure you know how Tinder is. High school, even, junior high, I did.
Did you ever share any videos of you having sex with anyone?
With anyone? No. I've always had personal videos of me and my wife. That was it. And my ex actually had one, but
What does your ex look like?
she's blonde.
She's blonde. Okay. So you've never shared any videos,
No, I have not, no.
just still shots.
Yeah.
Can you, I know this is kind of personal, so let me know if you get uncomfortable at all. Can you tell me what some of those images look like?
Video I had, I used toys. It's awkward, but yeah, I used toys on my wife and stuff. But,
Okay. Can you explain the toys?
I mean, it's
She's
awkward.
your wife, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's your wife, it's intimate, we
It's
totally get
uncomfortable,
this,
yeah.
yeah.
Dildos, a vibrator. That's really it. That's all I had.
Okay. You and your wife haven't been in that house too long, right? When did you guys move in?
About a year and a half ago.
And you guys, how many bedrooms are in the house?
4.
4. Do you guys live with anyone else?
No,
Okay. Do you guys have a master bedroom?
we do, yeah.
All right. Can you tell me about your master bedroom?
It's, I mean, just a big white room, big king bed. I mean, there's nothing really special to it.
Okay. Just because it gives me kind of some insight of like,
Yeah.
what your home life is like. Do you guys still sleep in the same room? That's a good marriage.
Yeah.
I say that because people who've been married a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, we come into contact with a lot of them. Do you guys have a TV in your room?
We do, yeah.
Okay. What kind of a TV?
Just a black Samsung TV.
Okay. Is it like a large room that has like one of those double door entries? Because I know some of those houses have them.
No, it's just single door.
It's a single door?
Yeah.
Okay. Any dressers or?
Yeah, we have one dresser.
Can you
Actually,
just,
we have two nightstands and a dresser.
okay. Can you describe the dresser to me?
Yeah, it's like a tannish brown, I guess.
Okay. Is it newer?
Somewhat, yeah. Yeah, probably.
Because you never know, like sometimes when people move in, they have like that chic style look or like
Mm-hmm.
the modern look. So it just helps me to get an idea of what home life is like. It must be hard for you guys though, because your schedules are complete opposite.
Yeah, I mean, we still see each other at the end of the day. Here, so.
So going back, and I'll give you a little bit more information, and then I'll let you chat for a little bit. I don't like chatting a lot, so I already feel like I chat too much. So when it comes to the Crime Stopper that we're investigating and the Snapchat account, and of course your phone number and everything in connection with it, and some of the combinations of numbers and everything there, you can understand why obviously
Yeah, no, it's.
we have a growing
100%.
concern.
It's weird.
And of course your picture's attached to it,
Yeah.
right? Which is even more like either someone's.
Can I ask what you said? You got new ones too.
There were images that were shared, yes, that
Can I ask? I know, I'm sure you got them here. Can I ask to see what they are?
you want to see the picture.
Yeah, so I can get an idea.
Do you ever even not do? Yeah. So I don't actually have a clear shot of one. Yeah, so I did not
Okay, I understand.
print
Yeah.
out those
I wait till I have
pictures.
a lawyer because this is I'm uncomfortable with this. This is weird. So. I wanna
Of
have a
course,
lawyer.
like, you definitely have the ability to do that, and of course,
Yeah.
this is completely voluntary.
I understand.
And so,
I just don't want to get caught up on something. I'm working this career. I don't want to get caught up on something.
I fully understand. Yeah. So, you can, yes, 100% elect not to speak with us. You are not under arrest at this time.
Yeah, I understand.
Obviously, given the fact that we're here and the fact that we're speaking to you, I know that your bosses are going to want to speak with
question.
you
Yeah,
afterwards. Yeah. So, we'll go ahead and allow them to speak with you after.
Okay.
Obviously, since you don't want to talk to us anymore, my partner here may have
Well,
some.
I just wanted to clarify, I have a couple of questions that
Yeah,
you
go ahead.
don't want to answer, or can I ask you the questions? Because you can choose to answer or not answer. So if I ask you a question and you're like, I don't want to answer that,
Yeah,
you can
no,
tell me
understand.
that.
Okay, so Jaylen is an idiot. Instead of maintaining that he didn't want to continue the interview without speaking to a lawyer, when the second interrogator asked if she could ask him more questions, he agreed. Her repeating that he can leave any time and he doesn't have to talk to her, and him choosing to stay and engage means that he is consenting to the interview continuing. And as an officer of the law, he would know that. But again, he wants to appear amenable and congenial, despite the reality of the situation. This allowance only occurred because the second interrogator is present. Had the same interrogator kept going and said she had more questions, he would have immediately shut that down and continued to say that he needed a lawyer. It's notable that she didn't speak until this point in the interrogation. Had she spoken prior to this point, Jaylen would have rejected her continued questions.
Just so that we understand, just based on the admonishment she read you, okay? One of my questions was, I think I missed it, but when was the last time that you had Snapchat? Because I know you said you deleted it, but I didn't hear when you deleted it.
I just deleted the app. I deleted that when I was in the academy.
In the academy.
Yeah.
When did you go to the academy?
It's like a little over a year ago.
A year ago,
Yeah.
so in 2019?
Yeah, right at the beginning of 2019, January.
Okay, and then what years did you go to college at Grossmont?
2011 to about 2013,
Okay.
14.
And then I just want to make sure that we all understand each other. When my partner says a younger female, you
Yeah.
understand that we mean someone under the age of 18?
Yeah, that's obviously why you're here.
You understand that?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have any siblings?
I have a younger sister, yeah, she's 19 right now. 20, sorry.
Oh, okay. And then my last question was, when she was asking about the house and the decorations of your house. In any of your rooms in your house, do you have that new look where they have like the barn door outer rail type thing? It's like a country, I don't know what you would call it. I see
Barn
it a
door,
lot
yeah.
on like
Yeah.
those DIY shows.
Yes.
Do you have those in
I
your
do have
house? Okay. That was the extent of my questions.
Okay.
So, do you have any other questions? I mean, can we still ask you questions, or do you want to stop?
No, I want to wait because I'm uncomfortable
Okay.
with this, so
Okay.
I'm talk to the lawyer.
Okay. So then, I want to thank you for
Yeah,
even
no,
taking
I
the time to speak with me
You're
for this long. I can imagine that obviously being confronted with any level of questions can be uncomfortable, so I do appreciate that you've allowed us to speak with you even for this long.
Yeah, you're-
Okay, so with the next step, however, I'm going to go ahead and pull some documents here for you. So there are a few steps that we're going to be taking after this. Again, you are not being detained by us or anything, but we are acting on behalf of the court moving forward.
Okay.
Okay, so I will give you a chance to read through this. This is a search warrant that was granted this afternoon by a judge.
Okay.
The warrant does allow us to grab some DNA swabs from you,
Okay.
as well as any mobile devices that might be in your possession or potentially in your locker. Do you have your personal phone with you here?
I do have one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it inside your locker?
It's on my person right now.
Okay. So if you want to go ahead and hand it to us, we definitely don't need to go in and grab it from you.
Okay.
But the search warrant does require that we take it from you.
Okay.
Okay. Additionally, it does allow us to have access to your vehicle.
Okay.
Is your vehicle parked here?
It's parked a few blocks away.
Okay. Do you remember exactly where you
It's over across from Cap's Pizza over there.
Cap's Pizza?
Yeah.
And is it like in a parking
It's in a parking lot.
Okay. Is it like one of those paid parking lots?
Yeah.
Okay. So Cap's Pizza. I'll put a note on that. So the warrant does allow for us to also process your vehicle.
You guys are gonna take my vehicle?
No, we're going to process it here.
Okay.
So that we actually have someone here that's going to help us take some pictures and just go ahead and do what needs to be done, so we don't have to.
Okay.
We recognize that warrants are a part of our job, but we don't like to inconvenience people unnecessarily.
Yeah.
So that's why we actually brought our technician with us here, because we obviously want to take your DNA with the least effort possible. So that's why we're using the swabs. And the same goes for, of course, your phone, which you stated is on your person. We don't want to put hands on if we don't have to. And
Yeah, no, I understand. I'll give it up.
like you said, as a law enforcement enforcement officer, you're willing to comply. With that being said, after that, we will also have access to your locker. Are your vehicle keys inside your locker?
My vehicle keys are in my vehicle right now.
They're in your vehicle?
Yeah,
So you have a code?
I have a code.
Okay. Would you mind sharing that code with us?
Am I allowed a lawyer to say no to that?
Well, the warrant allows for us to have access to your vehicle.
Okay.
Yeah, 'cause
Yeah, so
otherwise
you
we'll
break
get a
it.
tow
Yeah,
truck.
that's fine. Yeah, I'll give it up to you.
Okay. I'll jot it
What's the
down.
code?
Thank you.
I don't even know the number. I know the
Would it help if you drew the keypad?
yeah.
Do you want to draw the keypad?
Yeah.
I'm the same way, so.
Let's see. It's I don't know how many buttons are, but it's the top, bottom, left, top, bottom. I believe it's that one. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Like, so
One,
it's
two,
straight.
three,
It's straight
four,
down. So 1, 2, 3, then back 2, then down to 5.
Okay. So they're just basically.
It's
so
straight
is
down.
it like this? Are the buttons like this?
Yeah, there's a few more down, but I don't touch those. The first 3. 1, 2, 3, up.
So 1, 2, 3,
Then back to 2 and then 3.
2, and then this
3.
one.
No,
Three.
3.
Okay. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 2, 3.
Yeah, it should be that one. Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 2, 3. Okay. Wonderful. And just for the warrant that you see here, just verifying, of course, this is your name, this is your date of birth. We recognize that you're approximately 6'4", you're not very tall. And then we just use your approximate weight there. And I know you have more blondish reddish hair,
Yeah.
but we went with your DL. And just if you know your DL number, we can verify that.
Yeah.
As you see here, it does state here that we have premises as well to enter your home at 8621 Chaparral Way.
Okay.
So we are going to attempt to do this in the quickest way possible and the way that is obviously going to, this can't be an easy process, we recognize that.
Yeah, my wife's
And we
freaking
don't,
out what's going on.
yes.
Okay.
Is your mom at your house right now?
She's not.
Okay. Your wife, she is at home?
She's at home.
Okay. Is it just your wife at home?
Just my wife. Yeah.
Okay. And her name is, okay.
We won't be sending any black and whites over to the house.
No.
Okay.
Just so that
You can,
puts you
Is
a
it gonna
little
be
bit at
tonight right
ease.
now?
Yeah.
Okay.
yes. So we're going to do this kind of systematically. The very first thing that we will do is, of course, the swab and the phone.
Yeah.
Do you have any other USB drives,
I don't,
anything like that on your person? I know sometimes for work we carry them around
Yeah.
with
No,
us.
I might have a USB in my locker, but that's just a work locker USB.
Okay. So we'll get that started.
Okay.
And then after that, we know that your employers want to speak with you. Again, we are investigating allegations, so they
Yes.
recognize that, but of course, you know, they have to take their action. We can't speak to that, but of course, they obviously want the opportunity to speak with you.
Yeah.
Then, of course, we'll process the locker and then process your vehicle.
Okay.
And again, we'll do it systematically and as quickly as we can
Okay.
to alleviate any additional stresses that this already is causing. And then we'll go ahead and go to your home, and we hope to be in and out fairly quickly.
Okay.
Okay.
And guess I'm staying here. I'm not going with you guys or anything like that.
So no, you are
Yeah.
not in custody. You are not under arrest. You are not even being detained.
Okay.
That's why you had the right to stop speaking with us at any time. There's no locks on the door. You had the opportunity
Yeah.
to leave if you choose to. And like I said, thank you for speaking to us as long
Yeah.
as
No
you did.
problem.
As of today, Jaylen Fleer has been sentenced to 12 years in prison, but that doesn't feel like long enough. I want to thank the subscribers who recommended I look into this case and this particular interrogation, that being Panda Bear XO and Immediately Someday. If there is a case you would like to see me cover or break down, feel free to leave it in the comments down below or email me at dreading.official@gmail.com. I hope you have a good day and remember to stay safe.